Morning, Trin. Good morning, Tommy. Let's hop right into it. Right as D period opens up, it breaks that settle and is starting to pick up a little bit higher, going above that low from the 30 and climbing up above that Globex point of control. We'll see here, monitoring for continuation and see if they're going to take that B high. Still inside the previous day's range. So really haven't made any decisive moves, but it did look pretty decisive off of the low. Good morning, Pop. How's it going? Let me get the YouTubes rolling real quick, and then we shall do this dance once again. Good morning, Patrick. Only listening today on the road back home from work. Nice. Well, thanks for tuning in, man. Enable voice chat. Close. Who's this? Oh my god. Text chat and voice channels. Enable. Okay. Just fuck off. Okay. So D takes that B high. We're getting a little bit of continuation here, right? No surprise. So let's talk a little bit about the market from last night. We can see inside, right? Globex session inside. I would say it's fairly mixed, right? A lot of the volume right around the settle. It peaked up and then came back down off of that Microsoft news, but has since moved down into our gap. And this was kind of the first level, the 79.50 to 73.50 that we were looking for the market to go in. If we found buyers down here or a lack of selling, which is kind of what it looks like. Little combination of both, right? Some responsive buyers. If you guys were watching the auction, there was a buyer absorbing down here on this B low. This B low hit. We had about 1,000 lots traded on the bid. It finally pushed. No new sellers moved down to try to push it past previous day's low. It rebounded. C opened up, came down a couple ticks, and has since started going up. And now we're one time framing up from B period. The next level that I am looking for on the upside is going to be this 18 quarter to 21 level. I don't know if is Zoe here, because I know she was asking. I don't want to. She's not here yet. We'll wait for her. Zoe had a question on why I was looking at this 19 to 21 level. Well, the reason for me that I was looking at it is just because of the balance that we're in. So we're in this 3-day balance, right? From about right here. And so what I was basically doing was trying to find the widest point of the profiles if you were to kind of mash them all together. And what I got was 19 to 21 level. So like this level here, right above the halfback. And we can kind of see where it lines up. So it makes sense if that's kind of where the target is to find these responsive sellers, where they want to be at, right? Or where they're most likely to show up at, right? Where if you were going to be a seller today, where it'd be an opportune spot to try to sell, and that's that's kind of where I'm thinking that that they want to be. And so also with today, like we're seeing this back and forth over this 4101, which is our monthly balance low, right? And so it's like they're trying to figure out, which way is going to be accepted, if we're going to continue this breakout of monthly balance, or if we're going to be accepted back into the monthly balance and then possibly trade back up to the middle of the range.
get you back to my phone.
Morning, Adam. Oh, here it is. I'm checking out the volume real quick. So notice the volume coming in at the top. We're getting a little bit of tapering up here, right? Kind of showing us that maybe sellers are front running a little bit or willing to move down a bit. And that does that. We can see the point of control from yesterday is, you know, very close to that high right there. If we were to draw it like that, you know, and then we still have the Globex high. So really, this is kind of where I'm looking at that resistance. I mean, you could even draw it up to 28, honestly. It's a fairly big level. When we get in here, there might be some reaction from sellers. And so what I'm looking for it to do is just pop up here and kind of hold above this 21 level. And I mean, even if it gets above the Globex high and holds that, that'd be nice. Get rid of some of these levels, right? I think that this level here, you know, obviously a mechanical level, seems very mechanical, might need to be cleaned up. Even if the market does want to continue heading down, I think might clean that up. And then, you know, maybe it continues its overall trajectory, but doesn't seem like today is the day for that. Top or price 41.11.10. The fuck is that? We can see the breadth starting to pick up to the upside, 2-1 on the NYSE, almost 3-1 on the Nasdaq. Information technologies, green, consumer discretionary, communication services, financials, energy, real estate, and materials. Right, Apple is barely flipped to green. You can see Apple right here, basing it off of yesterday's close, of course. Microsoft is still red. Microsoft got beat up pretty early, but has since recovered and is starting to try to break out to the upside. Google's up 1.5%, basically just been kind of going up all day. Amazon just struggled early on, but kind of hanging out. Tesla's been a beast all day. Facebook's been a beast all day. And then chip makers also have been a beast all day. So hopefully my uncle is rocking some calls today. Actually, I haven't looked at AMD, so let's take a peekarooski.
Not that fortunate.
No.
But here's the deal. I'm gonna let it play its. I will say this: the algo has pulled itself out of things many times, and it's. I mean, I'll say this: I am in barely above what I made yesterday. So even if I lose everything on what it's in right now, I don't care.
Right, it'll just be a break even.
It would be a break even day for me. So I'm totally good with it. I'll roll with it. I mean, and that's the thing is that it isn't. That's the coolest part about my algo is it doesn't care. It just like looks at it and says, I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. And over the past 2.5 weeks, it's up like $2,000. So if it loses today and it loses the $400 in there, I mean, it's still up $1,600, and I didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's nice. Can't
So
beat
anyway,
that.
so I'm not worried.
So here's that 19 level that we were looking for. 19 to 21, I think, is going to be the resistance here. I mean, like I said, even possibly up to this 24, that Globex high. You're watching 30-20 on Bitcoin. Let's take a peek. Burn well. Oh, LUP. Yeah. Let me see. And good morning. And good morning. Oh, dude, where is Streamlabs at? Why does it keep disappearing on me? There we go. There we go. Okay. $30, $20, $20, $32.20. for a breakout LUP. Yeah, it does look like it wants to go. The breath looks good. The Nasdaq's getting what looks like some bids. And we've got that 30 level above. If this thing does break, there's these singles up to the 40. But this 30 level here, 30 to 33, has been a fairly big area this week. Let me close this back up. If we look at the profiles. So here's the 30 level here. You can see a lot of volume on the 30 before, a lot of volume on this is Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? A lot of volume on the 30. Yesterday they kind of smashed it down below the 30. That's what had those single prints. So today we're going to find out if, if this seller is willing or still in the game. They really shouldn't take this thing too much higher than 34, which would leave us with unclosed single prints and kind of give us some insight on the aggressiveness of the sellers if they show up and try to defend that level. Oh, single prints above on BTC. Yeah, up. Those single prints on Bitcoin start at 34.92 on Bybit. Yesterday's downside was interesting. Yesterday was actually selling. And no, it was kind of, I mean, it was kind of weird looking. Because you got all these late sellers coming in. So we had pop down, little short covering, more selling, short covering, more selling, more selling, short covering, and then the seller had moved down and just kind of held this level and then really never had to get tested again. So as they get back up to this like 3400 level, 3600 level, you're gonna see in this weak volume area if that seller is still willing to move down and initiate these prices lower. If not, probably coming back up to that weekly VWAP at least to test. Have to clear these highs first, 34.79, but yeah, if they don't respond at this level here, so let's do this, change it to green. So that's the line that buyers need to get price above if they want to come up and test that weekly VWAP. There's a big bid sitting on the 25, or big offer, I mean, sitting on the 25 through 347. 347 lots. Oh no, a couple of them just moved down actually. You know what I've seen a couple of times today? I've seen, I mean, they just filled it in now, but I've seen the market skip over spots a couple of times today. I mean, you can kind of see it here. Look, 99 on the profile, 62 on the profile, 144, and that's only because we traded back through it a second time. 8 contracts on that low. Like there was just not there was just some weird, I mean, I don't even know what to call it, but just weird, like dead spots in the profile today. Morning, Otto. Helps you watch on the alts. Wonder how ETH is doing today. So look, they come up to the 22 and then start trading back below. Try to fill in. There's one of those weak spots. Remember, we had like a 62 here. Here's this 99. See if they move back down to backfill this a bit. World Athletics to maintain ban on Russia. Russia's just getting fucked constantly. They get nothing. We get ADA today, the leader of these alts. Big up big today, 5%. Everything else is kind of just hanging out low. Oh, okay. Let me see. Got a stop loss today by 2 points. Entered long at 12,495. Made the same mistake. Let me look at the Nasdaq real quick. You entered at 12,495.75. 4. That's close as we're gonna get. Okay. Made the same mistake, not be strategic with my entry, but having it more protected for a stop hunt. Entered again on the sim when yesterday's close and VWAP were broken to the upside and held the level. The trade I just closed for 115 points, but on the damn sim again, not the test. Any advice? I mean that just sounds like emotions. You know what I mean? It sounds like for whatever reason you're not, you're like, oh yeah, sim, whatever, but on the real account you're like, I mean, I think that's a good entry. I mean, I don't know if you got it on the way down or the way back up, but um I mean, when you see this on the profile, like, I mean, this is just a pattern that I look for. I look for a TPO to come down, another one to make a lower low, and then the next one not to be able to take the low, especially if it lines up with the previous low. Whoa. I want to just cover this whole fucking thing. Um, and then this period here was almost like the perfect spot to get in. So if you got in at the low, seemed like a good entry. Yeah. Um, well, so did you just trail your stop too tight? Is that what happened? Or was it like your normal stop and then it took you out and then decided to go after? Oh, it was a 15-point stop. So was it during this period, during B? I mean, what I would say, and this happened to me yesterday actually. Yesterday when we came down here, I was looking to get long, tried my first long at 74, got stopped out. It came back up and I tried it again at the same spot. Um oh, it was during A. Okay, okay. A period. What are we on right now? A, B, C, D. Okay, so it's during A period. This is A period. Okay, I thought that was B period. Yeah, I mean, what I would recommend, like if nothing changes, especially when you get you know, let's say you got in here, it came back down, got you, and then started to come back up, then this couldn't come break that low, and that was your initial entry. For me, that's where I would like to get in and then just put my stop back below there. Sometimes on my second go around, I'm a little bit tighter with the position, just because, you know, I don't necessarily want to be, you know, kind of falling into a trap, trying the same trade over and over and over and then fucking it up. But yeah, I mean, the best advice I could give you really is just try to understand what you saw or what you didn't see that made you not take the trade in your real account, and why you took it in your sim account. And then, you know, like I said, in situations like that, like for me, what I will do is I'll just try it again, but just be more like hover your hand over the flat button just in case it doesn't start to go your way. The breath is starting to pick up here. Nasdaq's about 3.5. NYSE is 2.5. Oops. Why is this thing being so fucking slow? I'm trading these stocks. All the chip makers look like they're up for some reason. And they don't look like they even rotated. Like Nvidia looks like it was going straight up as well. Until Intel not as strong as the other two. Stuff's starting to turn green. We're starting to see some buying come in up here. We're actually close to the weekly view up on the ES. The weekly view up on the ES is 23, it looks like right now. $85 contracts traded on that high. Now you're starting to see some selling. Try it. Get that. They popped it and now they're going to drop it. Sneaky little minxes. Look for them to push back down to this 99 to 13 level. My thoughts on Bitcoin? So I think that we had a seller, right, move down to around this level here, this 3,400 level. And really what I'm watching is to see if Bitcoin cracks above this 35.49. If we can get above there, I think the VWAP be the next test. Makes sense. And then if it is able to claim the VWAP and hold, we'll be looking, most likely probably to the low of this upwards balance, right? This area probably be choppy, right? We see the previous day, but the low from up here in reality is probably like this 31,377 level. Maybe even here. 31,358 could be the target. If it's able to go though, that's the thing. Like I want to see it get above this this area here before I'm looking to go with it. But it still didn't come back down to that 13 level where those 99 contracts traded. To me, it looks like a bunch of shorts just closed here. Either that or they're getting ready to load up on selling. But you had a lot of selling come in around this 17 level and they just didn't make any progress really. Yahtzee nailed the level and spot to the T. That was your take profit. Were you're taking profit right there? Nice. Hell yeah. Good stuff, bro. Yahtzee. Hey brother, which VWAP indicator is that? Also notice that you have the volume with the TPO and trading view. Does the TPO indicator have that included? Tyler, so this VWAP here is the weekly VWAP. So it's just the normal VWAP indicator. It's just I came in here and I changed it to the anchor period to the weekly. And then I have it on high, low, close 3. That's it. And I turned off all the bands and stuff and then changed it black so it stands out. And then the volume profile is included with TradingView if you have the monthly subscription. So there's a CVD divergence. Let's see. But yeah, the volume when you just have to have like the monthly subscription. I think it's like $19 or something for TradingView. Where's the divergence at? So E period opens up, comes back down, comes back down to that 13. So they go get that those 99 contracts that were down there. Let's see what else they can do. Like I said, it looked like a bunch of big selling came in around that 17 level, but they really just didn't get much progress. So now that E period opened up, they were able to get a little bit more progress down there to that 13 level. But we're still holding a few single prints up here. Not really seeing the divergence. Yeah, no problem, man. Had my entry preferred area of entry between 12.5 and so I came in late. Having such a big area, I should have waited to retest. Yeah, and it was, another thing too to consider, Otto, is especially on days like today, because early on, even into B period, it was choppy, right? It was back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So here's where they came in earlier, right? That 17 level, the sellers tried to pop in and tried to sell this thing down. So let's see if they're still going to try to be active in this area. You see a lot of volume coming in up here comparatively, you know, to some of these other levels. Back to that 13 level. Let's see if sellers can get it below here. Looking for that 10 if they can get it down. That's, or the, no, it's at 8. That's where the single prints close. And remember, let's not lose track of what's going on today, right? Yeah, we caught a nice long out of the low responsive long, but value is still overlapping to lower here, right? We only have 2 TPOs up here, so you know 4 TPOs down here, but value is still overlapping to lower. So this definitely could come back down all the way through. You know, we don't want to just zone that out of our minds and think that it's not a possibility and this thing's just going to keep trading up. A mechanical E low right there, but it did look like a bunch of sellers getting out too. Ayo, this too. What's up, man? Right, yesterday's half, weekly VWAP just overhead, monthly VWAP just below, daily VWAP below that. Key high time prime fib levels everywhere. Chop, chop, chop. Yeah, yeah. I think until we can get back above this 24-ish area, really above this like L high right here, this 28, and then I expect to see 30 sellers like 30 to 34 ish. But if we get above that 34, we'll probably close the singles and then maybe test back up into the high of value. But yeah, I think it will be a fairly choppy day. Ugh. You entered a short? Oh, that was your spot to short. Oh, okay, okay. What's my background in coding market algos? Overheard you talking about it. That was my uncle probably. I have um made an algo, and the algo is for the ES. And it worked really well in a trending market, but when the market starts to turn sideways, it just ends up getting chopped up. Pretty much like a lot of algos. But my algo was just based off of price, which is the worst thing. And this is a while ago when I made this, and why I don't run it. Um, but the the one my algo or the one my uncle has made is based off of math and works really well. But yeah, I mean, as far as like coding and stuff like that, I don't know shit. I mean, I know how to. I know. I don't want to say I don't know shit because I'm really good at figuring out how to do shit. So like, if I get to a stuck position, I don't necessarily go be like, "Oh, hey, uncle, what's this?" I go, "Hey, YouTube, how do I do this?" And then if YouTube really just cannot give me what I need to do, then then I'll be like, "Yo, uncle, I need help." But I mean, that's just how. That's just like a DNA thing. I think all the Havens are like that. Just want to figure stuff out. But it's not. I mean, it's. And I also don't want to say that and put it like asking for help is a bad thing, because I think asking for help is one of the strongest things that you can do, and sometimes a very necessary thing, right? Um, but we also want to understand that um, when it comes to something that you're trying to learn, right? Coding and algo is a little bit different, but when you're looking to learn the market, the best way to do it is to be on it yourself. Closed long from the low, entered short, not norm for me, but worked with your plan. That's how it happened to me yesterday. So, I'm not knocking that at all. Yeah, because yesterday I was short, and then it came down to our area, and then spot where I wanted to get long. Yeah, I'm looking more for the upside. I'm in a long still from 75 actually, to be exact. Um but we haven't really seen any selling yet. We saw a bunch of short covering this morning, and we saw some buying step up, and then now we're seeing more shorts cover. Oh yeah, yeah, we have a Discord channel here. I'll post a link for you, Dr. BJ. Um Invite. Oops. Yeah, the internals look strong too. Anyone who develops a quantitative model that is fully automated is not going to explain how they did it on YouTube. Well, and that's the thing, is like, even if they did explain it, you wouldn't understand it anyways unless you know that field. You know what I mean? It'd be like if my wife just, I mean, shit, this happens to me all the time when my wife comes home from work and she's like talking to me about all this heart stuff, and I'm just like, because she's like knows all that shit. But I mean, I don't understand it. I'm not a fucking nurse, and I don't work at the hospital. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, if you're not doing it all the time, it's gonna be tough. Like, that's my uncle's career, so he knows that shit. You run models on crypto markets that are very successful, but still manually trade for fun. 6 accounts that use max leverage but small position size. DCA longs and shorts, hedge mode. I have, I have, I have seen a lot of those. Like, a lot of people talk about those, and then hear that a lot of them work in crypto. So here we go. We're looking to repair that mechanical high, right? That mechanical level from yesterday was this M high, L high area. So from about 27 to 28. Yeah, exactly. You try talking to people about your models. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, but if you and my uncle were to have a conversation, you guys probably fucking, nerd out together with code. You guys would be like, "Oh, we know code." I mean, my uncle does some really cool shit. Like, and he makes all of his own shit because he has a 3D printer. So I mean, it is really interesting, but you guys would be talking about how it works, not what it's doing. You know what I mean? Like how like the internals, and that's where, common folk like me and people that don't know code just kind of were like, okay, that sounds cool. Okay, okay, like you want to, you know, you want to understand, but it's not just one of those things that you just understand. You know what I mean? And then even in code, like just with the little knowledge that I do have about it, one little period or one little fucking forward slash just ruins the whole thing. And if you're not good at finding those bugs, then you know you stare at the sky. Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of money coming down the exchange. Look, the breadth on the NYSE just jumped up from 2 to 1 to 3 to, or 2.5 to 3.5. Yep, and then we just cracked up that weekly VWAP's up at 23. And then so really what we're just looking for is if they're gonna be able to take this high, and then that should bring us up to that 34 area where most of the volume's at. Above that, if sellers really don't defend these single prints, then I imagine, I mean, I posted it in the video title, so kind of it has to happen now. 4,200. Crypto Mojo, good morning. YMCA. YMCA. So there's a big offer sitting at the 30, but you know, we'll see what they got. Look at the breadth starting to pick up here. We got 3.5, 3.7. We can see Apple starting to break up towards the highs. Microsoft is even trying to turn around after getting beat down in pre-market. Google still looks strong. Amazon's kind of lagging a little bit today. Tesla's still looking great. Even Facebook's looking, okay, kind of balancing at the high. You can see healthcare is really the lagger today, or kind of the thing that's holding the market back. Johnson and Johnson, UNH, Pfizer, Lilly, MRK, like a lot of red in here. But our big stocks are favoring the upside. If Apple and Microsoft start to jump on board even more and flip this bad boy up to green, then could be some upside. I do kind of expect some resistance here in this area, right? We have that volume, that 30 to 34. There's a big offer sitting on the 30. And then, well, never mind, it's gone now. And then to like the 34, and that's just basically looking back at the balance area, right? We have this VPOC, which is like 28, and then this TPOC, which is like 34. So really this area here, the next level of resistance, if sellers don't defend, we'll probably close the singles. And honestly, I think if we close those singles and don't really see that reaction, probably see shorts cover, and then maybe up to the highs. The VIX is at 24. This is the lowest the VIX has been in a while. Let me see on the daily. Yeah, this is the lowest that the VIX has been since April 22nd. Shorting Luna to 0. What's Luna doing? Dude, Intel's a lagger today. Fuck. Hang on a second. Damn it. I'm just dumb. Oh. I think I might have missed it. What are these weeklies at? These weeklies aren't that shit. 44.5. 45 calls are 33 cents. 44.50 calls are 33 cents here. Let me see, what was their best today? Last 30. Okay. They're only up 2 cents. Friday expiry. Let's get some call. Okay. All right, what were we looking at? Luna? Sorry. Uh, where did they just remove it from Bybit? Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Let's link. Am I losing it here? Cool. 44.75 is a major level. Like the damn video. This man here every day telling it like it is. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you. Yeah, smash that like button. Here's the thin spot from yesterday. Yeah, I think this is it, 34. If we don't see the reaction here at 34, we'll probably cover up to the 42, close those singles, and then, yeah, and then to 4,200. Please and thank you. I guess they must have removed it. Because this is Luna. Didn't Luna go to 0? Which one went to 0? Losing track of all these things. Thought it was Luna. Oh, Binance delisted? Yeah, makes sense. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here we go. Back down to 0, and then they just opened it back up, and all of a sudden it's worth money again. Like, it's like buying multiple lottery tickets. If you're gonna play the lotto, like I'm on board with that. I like to play the lotto because if I win the lotto, I get to run for president. But I don't go buy 100 tickets. People just got absolutely demolished on Luna from like fucking 90 to 0 in like a day, and then yeah, this 34. This is an area like if we were to go like this with the profile, right, and kind of mash all these together. You can see like this 34 area, the right here. It's like this is just a big area, so it makes sense if that's where they try to defend. You just saw a ton of selling, but then a ton of buying. 200 lot order on the 31 quarter, 123 lot on the 21 quarter or 31 quarter. They removed it, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You know, and this is why, and we talked about this a long time ago, but China had banned crypto trading for a lot of their citizens, and that's why. Volume's still about 2% less than yesterday. It looks like some selling starting to pick up here. So let's just watch this 31 quarter. There was a decent sized buyer there. There were some sellers above up at that 34, but they might start to cover here if they get a little bit scared. People still buy the new one. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, we made a new one by this now. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Can't get fooled again. George Bush. If sellers are able to get the break, they're going to be looking most likely to come back down to this 16 area. That's where the most of the volume was at last time. This 18 was yesterday's halfback, so it makes sense. If they are, just because of how thin the profile is, giving some opportunity for, you know, initiated buyers to do their job and step up, right? We had kind of talked about this. If they are not able to close those singles, this could be an area where responsive sellers show up, return it back down into balance. Okay, so we've seen them not close the singles the first time on that first test, letting us know that there is still a seller among us, right? Just how strong they're going to be willing to toe the line is what we'll find out as the day goes on. And like I said, remember, we don't want to lose track of how the day is going. Yeah, we see that the we're still one time framing up, so we don't want to lose that, but we still have overlapping value to the downside, and we haven't taken the previous day's high yet, and we haven't closed these singles yet either. So before you abandon ship and say the market's going to go to 4,200, we've still got to keep these things in mind, right? You still got to maintain perspective, as the master Jim Dolan would say. Always maintain perspective. Did you see Bush the other day? He was like doing a press conference or some shit, and he was like, he said something along the lines of, he was basically talking about how Putin invaded Ukraine and how it's like a tragedy and it's no one man should be able to do that. But instead of saying Ukraine, he accidentally said Iraq, and everyone's like, whoops. And then after, he didn't even give a fuck too. He's like, nah. He's like, I think he said something like, I'm 70. Who cares? Like, oh man. Have you ever seen that movie Vice? That movie was hilarious. And if Bush was anything like that in real life, which probably has some factual backing to it, it was funny. Trying to wait for these calls to come down, but it won't. Hasn't filled me yet. Nobody wants to fill below. F period opens up. Let's see if F period is going to close these upper single prints here. A second to close below 0. Almost back to that weekly VWAP at the 41.23 here. There we go, VJ in the Discord. Nice. Right off that weekly VWAP there. Little buyers stepping up down here. There's that thin spot of the profile down here, like the 2275, 2250, 22 quarter, and 22. It's a really thin spot of the profile right here. You can kind of see. Here's the 2250 to 22. This is a really thin spot that they haven't really let the price go back down into. So, and we're right here on top of the weekly VWAP. So it'll be interesting to see if they got enough inventory up there to push it back down below the weekly VWAP and keep trying to smash the market down. They're just not doing a great job at it. Oh, there they go. That's it. They're fucked. I'm gonna put on some Frank Sinatra here pretty soon. Uh-oh, these poor bastards. They're Is anybody really good at knowing, like if I sent you a picture of this plant that's growing, would you know what kind of plant it is? Or if I posted in the Discord, would you comment on it and be like, yo, this is this kind of plant? Yeah, they left those couple singles. They didn't have the supply there to take those back, which was interesting. It's not. No, it's no. So it's like I live like the outskirts of town, like near a farm. So my neighbors grow sunflowers. They have like this huge sunflower field or something like that. And I think one of like the seeds or some shit like got over the fence, and it because there's just like a fat ass plant like growing right in my front yard. And I hate to just, I mean, it kind of looks like a weed to me, but I know a lot of plants look like weeds until they start to bloom. It's just the stalk on this thing is just like, it's like a $50. It's a pretty thick stalk, and now the plant is probably, probably close to 3 feet tall, and it just came in the past like 2 weeks. So I don't want to just kill it if it's like a nice, sunflower plant or something. Any idea why such big volatility today? Maybe anything to do with the balance sheet reduction? Yeah, possibly. I think today is just a lot of a lot of uh shorts starting to cover. So here, if you want to get conspiracy with me real quick, arrows, and this is what I think. So we're seeing on a lot of brokerage platforms in the United States, right? TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers. We're losing the ability to short stocks, right? At least I am. And I don't know why, but they're just limiting the things that we're allowed to short. And so if you jump into the conspiracy theory tank with me real quick, I think they're doing this on purpose. So they're going to not let people short as much. So if they want to buy something, they're going to buy puts, and they're just using the volatility to crush to crush the premium on the puts, right? They're doing IV crushes on all these puts. I mean, we've seen it day in and day out. And then I think what they're trying to do is just basically dry up the supply, and so the market will just basically be forced to go up. And then once it goes up, we'll get some good news coming out. We saw the fake good news coming out over this weekend, and then we'll keep getting some good news. The market will pump up. We'll get back above that 4,300, and everyone's going to be like, it's over. The war is over, and they're going to start buying everything again, and then whoops, they bought the top, and then fucking they got goosed. They thought they were ejecting out of their plane up into the moon, and then they accidentally hit the fucking whatever that thing is called on the plane, the canopy, dead. Then the market will just fall back down. I mean, until some of these supply issues get fixed, the market is just gonna be like this. Yeah, that's true. The volatility is what advertises, right? Because people like to get a deal. You know what I mean? So like if the market is up a bunch, they're like, oh, I want to short this because it's probably going to go down. Or the same thing on the opposite side. But if they take away your ability to short things, now you're only being able to buy dips or buy period, not just dips necessarily, but just buying things. This is just my theory, right? I have no idea. I don't have a fucking degree in finance or economics or anything like that. So this is just my archaic assimilation of what I hear and read. But I mean, I think volatility is just going to be here. I mean, until you start to see commodities start to chill out, which they haven't yet. I mean, oil's at $117. Gold's even up today, 1.5%. Bonds are up today, just barely. I mean, everything's up today. It makes no sense. Technically, right? Because you would think if the market's going up today, people are buying stocks and selling bonds. That's normally inverse correlation, how inverse correlation works. But if we look at TLT is barely down, but the ZN, the 10 years are up about 0.1%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but in bonds it's not that's nothing to shy away from. Mr. Conversation. Sorry, I jumped out, Mr. Conversation. I just had going to downside at my long, take profit or exit from last night, take profit zone today, then enter the short. Oh, okay. You're on Bitcoin, right? All right, Otto. We'll catch you later, man. Have a good day. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think, Uncle Stacy, is that people are pumping. They're just trying to use the liquidity crisis and the Fed's tightening, so they're not providing liquidity for the market. And I think they're just doing this on purpose to uh to take the supply out of the game, and the market will have no choice to go up. We've seen it before, right? We've seen um when they've done this, you get this lack of supply and the market just goes up. I mean, we saw it since COVID, basically. There was just no supply. Everyone wanted to get short. They're like, oh, this thing, people shorted COVID all the way up. And then now there's a pullback and they're like, I'm getting long. And they've just been getting crushed since the beginning of the year. It's like, that's how human psychology works. You short something until it just starts to look the other way. Like, and that's your basic traders, right? Basic traders that don't really do any studying or any extra work. A lot of times their struggles are that they're longing the tops and shorting the bottoms. And that's how the market's set up to trap like that. And it's unfortunate, but we kind of need these people in the market because that's what makes it a free market, right? If people want to throw their money in and lose it, they can lose it to me. That's fine. I don't mind. Just nobody else. Yeah. Well, the Fed balance sheet and the government giving up that is a little bit different. They're two different sheets, but yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it is. I don't know. I think it's an issue. I mean, the college loans were, fairly scammy also, but I mean, that's like going to every 21-year-old that has higher than 10% interest rate on a car and be like, you know what, we're just going to forgive this loan because this was just bullshit. Because it's fucked up that they even do that. You get a kid that comes to a dealership and yeah, because anyone could fucking get money during COVID. They approved like a million every car loan that you could possibly get, and I see kids around the town that I live in driving fucking Challengers, and I mean, yeah, maybe their daddy bought it, but it's like every fucking one of them. You know what I mean? So like, not all of their parents can be rich. So I don't know. I mean, I just think it's just a shady ass thing. I mean, no offense to anyone that's a real estate agent, but I think that's fucking bullshit job. I don't think that I should have to pay you 3% to deal me. You know what I mean? I can fucking deal myself. I'm good to go. It's just because I don't have a license, and this license was created to basically steal money from the buyer and the seller on both sides. Starting to see some long stake profit here, so be careful of a retracement. This could be an area, if we don't get more buyers stepping up right here, that they could start to get weak. Watch that 30 level above still. That's where we need to get above and hold, is that 30. Yeah, oh yeah, me and my wife, we see it all the time too. Like we were at a like drive through picking up the kids, and you see people driving, $80,000-$90,000 cars, and I mean, like, they can afford it as long as they don't stop working. You know what I mean? But if like most of the people, and this is more of a California thing because not everyone in California, but a lot of people in California are very materialistic. and it's kind of like everywhere you go, you got to put on a show, right? So like a lot of people don't really leave the house without fucking, getting done up or whatever, besides me and my wife, we really just don't give a fuck. But that's what people do. So they've got like their fucking Fendi bags, their Gucci glasses, their fucking $80,000 GMC Tahoe, and they have $38 in their bank account at the end of every month. And it's like, what the fuck? And it's easy when you're getting all these fixed rate loans, but a lot of people are maxing these things out on credit cards, and credit cards most of the time, if you don't have the best credit, or if you don't have the best credit card, are variable interest rates, and they change with rates. And so if they start to go up, and yeah, you've been making this $100 payment on your credit card every single month, no problem, because that you've budgeted for it, but now it goes up to 18% your credit card because it's adjustable rate, and you didn't read the contract when you signed it, and it's anywhere from fucking 6 to 26% or something, and so now you're at 20%. Now you've got to pay $400 a month, and you can't afford it. People push themselves to the max during that shit, just like all the people that didn't go back to work when they had the opportunity. The work was like, okay, covid guidelines are safe, you can come back to work, but everyone was like, oh fuck that, I'm making more money not working, getting unemployment and whatever the benefits are, and what's crazy to me is getting the unemployment is work, and I know firsthand, because when I got out of the army, they said that I qualified for unemployment, went to go to apply for it, and it was like a fucking 1,000 pages. I was like, not worth it, just had to just give up, because it was just fucking just not worth it. It wasn't worth the extra like $600 a month or something that it was going to give you. It's like, just go to work and make your normal money. That money that you pay into unemployment, that's what people don't understand. Like, these taxes and things that we pay are there for you to help you, but then what happens is people abuse the system, and then it fucks everybody else over. Like, look at Social Security. Great idea, terrible execution, and now it's all fucked, right? Unemployment's the same way. That money is there to save your ass when you get hurt at work. If you get hurt at work and you don't have money coming in every month, and your work, let's say, doesn't pay you workers' comp or something like that, or they don't pay you enough for workers' comp, so you've got to apply for unemployment. If you get hurt, and you collect unemployment while you're hurt until you can get back to work, right? That's what it's for originally. Not for, oh, I don't feel like working, and I'm making more money because I'm getting an extra 600 with this COVID benefit. So, Sabuske, I'm not going to work. Right? That's just fucking something that me and my older brother refer to as bitch assness. I used to have a t-shirt when I was in high school that said, no bitch assness. I got it custom made at the mall. And then I got it taken away the first day I wore it to school. Never saw it again. So we're at that 30 level here. So 30 to 34, I mean, really the high now, but this is kind of an area. Here's the 30, and then that point of control here at this 3350. We've got yesterday's or Friday's volume point of control at the 28. So, you've got all this, areas really to see what the deal is. So, and like I said, when we were at like 28 or something, and we start to see some longs take profit, and I said, if we don't see some buyers step up soon, then this thing's probably going to come back down. Well, looks like we're finally getting to see them step up. The only thing is, it's just, to me, it looks a little bit light. There's some decent sized buyers, but it doesn't look as strong as the first time we came up here. And so really, I don't want to see price get much below the 30. If it does pull back again, I'd like to see it stay above that 30 level. You leaving?
你这鸡吃干啥？我busy。
Okay. Stuff like I just thought they wouldn't notice. Yeah, I mean, who knows? You never know. Yeah. Yeah, I got to wear a PE shirt for the rest of the day. You know what's funny? At my high school, like if you forgot to bring your PE clothes or you wore something inappropriate, right? Like because we had really strict dress code for the females, they would give you a shirt. So our colors were red and gold, the lions, and they would give you this PE shirt, a red PE shirt, but they bleached the shit out of it. Um, like so it just had bleach spots all over it. And they would just be like, "Here you go. You can wear this for the rest of the day." No, it was classic. And now in California, everyone bitched so much that there is no dress codes, and these kids can wear whatever they want to school, which is, I mean, I guess whatever, fucking personal choice. But what's crazy is like, I mean, the parents bought this shit for the most part. But like some of the shit they wear, I'm like, what the fuck? No. Even at my daughter's school, only goes up to 5th grade, and some of the girls in her class are wearing shit that they should not be wearing. And you know it's the parents too, and you just want to fucking grab their head and smack it with the other one. You're like, dude, get your shit together. Or like a lot of people too, and I'm just ranting now at this rate, but a lot of people fucking uh buy their kids like designer shit. You know? What a fat waste of fucking money that is. I don't give a fuck how much money I have. I mean, the only thing I spend money on for the kids is shoes, and that's because they fucking wear them. Like, my kids play sports, so they need good things because you gotta protect your feet. But like clothes, shit, son. You going to the Gap, bitch? We're going to Old Navy. And Old Navy makes good clothes. That's where I buy most of my clothes at. Old Navy, Walmart, Target. Yeah, those are the same parents that expect their schools to raise the kids. That's the thing too, is like, during COVID was should have been eye-opening for a lot of parents and how much they don't fucking know and things that their kids need to learn. And they're just like, well, you're supposed to do it. And it's like, yeah, but you gotta help. It's not like, oh, my kid will learn everything they need to learn at school. Yeah, so yeah, this too. So when I was a recruiter, um, this is back in 2016. I had just got on recruiting duty, and we have to go to the high schools and talk to the high school kids. And I had gone into the high school, and I'm thinking like, what the fuck? And expecting like my high school, the same dress code rules. And so I asked, he was the ROTC teacher that we had. I'm like, what's the deal here? Like these kids just wear whatever they want. And even some like at my high school as a dude, you couldn't wear a tank top either. Like you had to wear a t-shirt, at least. And let's see if they can get this breakout here. A breakout above this level should take us straight to that 42-ish to close these single prints. Maybe to the 40. Looks like there's a bid or an offer up there, but probably up there somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I was just like, he's like, I guess the parents petitioned that they didn't want. They said if there's a dress code on kids, then you're sexualizing kids, and that's wrong. So they should be allowed to wear whatever they want. And I'm like, are they also gonna wear a fucking name tag that says I'm 15? Don't talk to me? Because a lot of these kids, like, I mean, there's kids in my daughter's grade, in the 5th grade, that are as tall as me. One of my daughter's friends, Aaliyah C, I mean, she's been in my daughter's class since kindergarten, so we've known her and her family for a long time. And she was about the same size as my daughter, growing up, kindergarten, 1st grade, but in between 2nd grade and 3rd grade, she grew like a foot. And then this year, Aaliyah she's 11 years old. She's 5'7", and she weighs like 110 pounds. And her dad's pretty fucking tall too, but like, I mean, you know, I was telling her dad, I'm like, bro, she needs to be in some sports. She's she's gonna be a dominator. So here they go, just eating up through these singles. That offer's at 40, the bigger offer, but you know, most likely we just keep on chomping through. Come on, just give us the 40. Sounds like woke logic. Remember when you would say when you were woke, it was like bad. You know, people were like, fucking your conspiracy theory and blah 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 blah, you know. Now when you're woke, you're like trendy, cool, and hip. To most people, to me, it's like dumbass. Dumbass, just fucking believe in everyone else shit that everyone else says. But that's me because I'm a skeptic, you know. I like to figure things out on my own. So people are like, "Oh," and I also love to play a devil's advocate. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the funnest things because you get to find out people's core values or beliefs. You know what I mean? I like to find stuff like that out. You know, people tell you whatever it is, but an easy one to get people on is like, you know, gravity is not real. They're like, what? My gravity's not real. And they're like, yes, it is. I'm like, explain it to me. They're like, it's science, bro. And I'm like, okay, explain that to me. You know, and most of them, I mean, some people fucking, they've got it, right? They're like, okay, well, this is how it works. And they start telling you about the magnetic pull and blah, blah, blah. But some people have no fucking idea. They just believe it just to believe it, right? They're like, oh, yeah, they said there's gravity. Gravity holds us down. That's what gravity is. No idea how it works. Now leftists think woke is a buzzword. Conservatives use it against progressive people. It's like a, yeah, birds aren't real. Fucking, yeah, you know, like it's these kind of things that, I mean, I don't know. The birds aren't real thing to me is just, I've killed birds. I know they're real. You know what I mean? I've eaten birds, killed them, eaten them. I know they're real. But like, you know, I just like to challenge people sometimes on their beliefs to get them to understand why they're believing that. And if they don't, then why not? You know what I mean? And then I really, if I get into somebody like, if I find somebody that's real big science person and hates Jesus, or a real big Jesus freak and hates science, I am so good at getting them eventually to be like, like these kind of line up. these are almost kind of the same. And you're like, imagine that. Imagine God and science working in harmony, right? Regardless of who your God is, just this, you know, whether it's Mother Nature, whether it's Allah, or, you know, the Christian God, like whatever it is, it's like, you know, you just get people like that, and it's awesome. The breath is getting swole. 4-1 on the Nas. 4-1 on the Nasdaq, 4-1 on the NYSE. Apple's coming close to a trend line that we're looking for it to try to break. Up to 54. Man. Remember we said buy Apple at 137 and it's at 150 now. Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive. I mean, it's not that they can't be. It's just that I like to challenge people to think outside the box. That's what I like to do, because the brain is just so underutilized and so powerful, but some people just don't know how to use it because they've never been taught, right? And if you've never been taught how to use it, then you don't understand that, right? And there's a lot of that going on right now because, I mean, think about, we talked about this on YouTube. The most viewed videos on YouTube are like a fucking kid playing with toys, you know? Fucking terribly sad. yesterday or 2 days ago, actually, my sprinklers broke and the fucking things weren't, because they're like, you guys know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of them. They're like impact sprinklers. Well, it fucking broke and they're not cheap. And I'm like, I'm damn sure not gonna go buy a new one because I can fix it. So I got on fucking YouTube, right? I have no idea. I don't have any training in any of that kind of shit. But got on YouTube, found the video that looked like it was going to be the right one, watched it, went outside, fixed it. Yeah, out of all the people on earth and in history, you are the one. Yeah. That's what I was trying to tell my buddy Jared the other day, is like he's having some irrational thoughts about if he gets in, or the breath is picking up. I mean, buying is just picking up, guys. We're just, they want this thing. Let's see if they can, there's something holding it down right here. But as soon as they just decide to give it up, it might just go. But there's a big offer up here somewhere, it looks like, because we just saw 329 lots trade on that 43. Yeah, look at this, 2,000 lots. Watch the single prints and see, they're probably not going to fill. But yeah, I mean, he was having these irrational thoughts that if he gets into a trade, you know, Biden's going to get on the news and then shit the market, and then he's going to blow his account. And I'm like, that is the most like narcissistic thinking I have ever heard, because you're thinking that you know, the one of all the people in existence, that's going to happen to you. You know what I mean? That just comes from a lack of understanding of the market. And if Jared, if you're on here, I'd tell that to you or text it to you anyways. So I don't think he's in here. He texted me early this morning to play Fortnite, so he probably already finished for the day. Yep, previous month open is just overhead as well. This 4140, what was it? 4143 75. Yeah, it was like 41. Oh, what's that? $41.54 was the open this month. That's what it was. I'll be right back, guys. If you're talking, you're still muted, Brad. Here we go. Thank you. Yeah, so you could draw another trend line here. We have broken that other one from the Wednesday high. So it would make sense we got above here. Like I said, this day is basically not real. So I'm just counting from this high here. Also almost round trip this 61 and brought this down below some other trend lines. Yeah, the thing I'm thinking is like, I mean, look at Google. Google's breaking out hard. Amazon's, getting there. Facebook is still breaking out pretty hard, right? One time framing up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row now. Really the only thing that's holding it back was just that bad news from Microsoft this morning, but Microsoft's heading back towards that the bottom of this area, so that there might be some resistance coming up. That would make sense. But we can see the breadth is almost 5 to 1. Look at the advanced declines of 1300, the bold way up. You can see here. I made this, well, it's not my thing, but this here. So this is the weighted AD code made from Shadow Trader. But basically, I had just done this yesterday. I was in a deep dive yesterday, and you can see it's just breaking out of that trend. So we had a lot of the weighted sectors, right? Dip below, came back, dip below, came back. I mean, this is all of them. But we had seen that progressively we were making less lows. So that means there's less selling than in in the overall market. And now we're starting to see a little bit more buying than normal as well, which means, possibly that we could see some more upside, right? Give us that opportunity. But if we're looking at this, I mean, look, Tesla's up 6%, BA's up almost 7%, Nvidia 6%, Netflix 5%, CRM, Facebook. I mean, like Google's just running up right now. The market's just running up right now. I mean, there's just no reason to try to fight this yet. You know what I mean? Not sure if you've noticed, Brad, but the advanced decline line usually fills major gaps between sessions on a weekly or 2-week basis. They don't all fill, but most do. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. I never really looked at that. Is the market trying to get to 50? I think the market's trying to get to 4,200. To be honest with you, I think that's the goal today. It's early. It's only 9:30, so there's still time. And volume, I mean, volume's a little bit less than it was yesterday. About just 1%, so really relatively close. And we had, what was the range on yesterday was, what do we see? 65 to, I think the low was around that. Yeah, it's almost 100-point range again. So I wouldn't be surprised to see another 100-point range today. Really, if we get above that 65, I think we'll print single prints up to this point of control from here to here, from 67 to 78. Once they fill that major AD gap, there's often a reversal nearby. I'm definitely gonna look into that. Appreciate that. Kevin, what's up, man? Seems too early in the day for this to run up and not have a pullback. Well, it's turning into a trend day, and this is the kind of day that gets people caught when they're trying to fight this, right? We had our developing value lower, but we're one time framing off that B low, and we've left single prints 3 times now. We've got 1 distribution, 2 distribution, 3 distribution, 4 distribution, right? Very unlikely that it's all going to hold because it's emotional. It shows the emotion, all these sellers running for the door, trying to get out at a decent position, especially now that they've had the single prints taken back. But on a trend day like this, it's kind of just a matter, you need, for me, right? I mean, I'm still just holding along, but you need to see a seller come in and confirm, right? And so until at least as of right now, we get a close, those single prints below in that F period, to me that's saying don't get short at all. Don't fight this you know, like playing chicken with the semi. Like, yeah, they might swerve, but they might still hit you. And guess what? If they barely hit you, you probably die and they probably live. Um, but if you don't play chicken with them, you survive, you know, so. And everything has flipped to green except utilities and healthcare. And if you look at the market, you're starting to see more green coming in here. Nvidia is doing really well. Intel's catching up. Come on, Intel, you can do it. Be a good puppy and just break out. Watch this 3549 level on Bitcoin. If it gets above that and you don't see any selling right there, good odds that we trade back up, you know, close to that 3100, I imagine. Breath is 5-1 and 4-1 on the NYSE or on the Nasdaq. 5-1 on the NYSE. $300 lots sitting on the 50 here on the offer. Yeah, you got that. Nope. Intraday fibs 49.50, then 65.50, then 74.50. Do you have like an automatic calculation, or you're just calculating it off of yesterday's high and low? Weekly open 64.50. Oh, for Globex. Yeah. Yo, how did it go so far back? Wong, thank you for the follow on Facebook. Appreciate it. We're at the first standard deviation. That open. Ooh. Big cell block there. Thing might just pop. I can show you the. Wong, thank you for the like. Appreciate it. Oh, you pull your intradays off initial balance? Oh, okay. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't use fibs that much, so it's nice to hear like how other people use them. I see Peter Resnicek use them all the time, and he has success with them. I like to use them on a daily profile, or like a daily time frame, not a daily profile, like a daily chart, like a bar chart. Big buy order on the 4350 200 lots. Additional confluence, yeah. And that's the thing is like when you're using things consistently, it's a little bit different. It's just the thing that gets me is like you'll see charts that look like this. You'll be like, okay, fib, and you can see I've edited mine so it only shows those three, and then the 4-4, which is the magic number that nobody knows about, everyone listening right now. But they'll draw one here, and then they'll fucking draw another one here, and then, you know, I mean, it just gets fucking insane. And they're like, oh yeah, see, and then they post a picture, and it's like, look, right off the fib. It's like, well, no fucking shit. You've got 1,000 on there. Hello? Need to check your phone? Hey. Okay. I'm listening, yeah. Okay, then have another snack, but you just gotta cover for it once your sugar comes back up. Sure. That's good. Bye. In a pair? Let me see. What did you say, Curtis? But the red in Spanish is rojo, not whatever you said. Red in Spanish is rojo, not whatever you said. No, andu, that does not mean red in Spanish. Yeah, I don't know where you heard that. Yeah. But it's 23 carbs. Bye. Sorry about that, guys. Little man's hungry. This thing gave me 75% win rate for BTCs when he ranges at 20. What does that say? I'm not understanding that. Oh, this technique gave me 75% win rate for BTC trades when it ranges from 28 to 32-ish. Yeah, I mean, if you're in there, if you're in there quick and fast, normally should be good. Yeah, well, and that's the key there is you have to have a decent understanding, you know, and it's like I talk about in the boot camp is like, you know, if I give you all the tools to build a house, are you going to be able to do it? Well, probably not unless you know how to build a house, right? Um, so, you know, you can have all of the tools, you can put all the fibs and trend lines and, you know, fucking circles and moon landings on your chart. If you have no idea how to use them, you know, what are they doing on there? You know what I mean? And so that's kind of my thing is like if you're going to use some of these tools, I'm not really against it. I did had to take like you know, an adversary position at first to try to show people that, but you know, if you've got things on your chart that you don't understand fully or use, like what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, market profiles are probably the most useful thing once you understand it. The thing is, it just doesn't give you, it doesn't give you the X that everyone's looking for, right? Because everyone is searching in the market for the signal, right? That's why they like moving averages. Oh, if we get above the 20 moving average, it's time to get long. You know, things like that, right? And it's just, uh, I don't disagree with using them. It's just not having a full understanding of them is doing more harm than good. Starting to see the breath take a little bit of a breather here. Let me move this back up. The Nasdaq's 4-1, ES is 4.5 or 4.2-1. Tick is starting to pick up a bit though. Yeah, just and that's called the flow, or what I call the flow. Yeah, you got to be within the flow of the market. That's why I think every single day we've got to be looking monthly, weekly, daily, 30 minutes. And I mean, you can even zoom in if you want to look 15, 5 minutes. You know, I'm not necessarily against that. Fuck. Tempo, flow, and volume, my friend. I got that literally printed out on the label on my desk. Tempo and volume. And then underneath that it says, early bird gets the worm. Don't be a worm. I got that from Jim. Jim. James? Jim? Jimothy? All right, watch that 50 level. That's where the volume's at. So it makes sense if that's where they want to try to touch, see if we can get some of that liquidity into the market. There's a 338 lot order on the 50, and then another 300 lot order up on the 51.75, and then another 300 lot order on the 53.25. So we've got three fairly big offers sitting just right above. We saw this dance on Tuesday. They or on Friday, I mean, they did this. They put these big offers out and just held price down for a while, even had a nice pullback before just unleashing the offers off, and then boom, the market ripped up. So I'm not saying that's going to happen exactly like that. This could be sellers starting to move down and respond back inside, previous day's value, but we'll just have to, wait and see. Right. Balance and excess, volume and time, flow and tempo. And the biggest thing I would say, because those are all understandings that you develop when you're learning the profile, the biggest thing is time. Understanding that time is the true measure of things, right? Things that that last time. And so you've got to understand that as an individual, you are, you know, you've got to put in the time to understand how time works and to understand, you know, the balance, the tempo, the flow, excess, all of these things, you know, it just, but that's where people trip up. They just don't understand, because it should be like, you know, a puzzle. Okay, if I can just put all these pieces together, I'll see the final picture. But this is like a never-ending puzzle that doesn't have any edges. And then at the end of the day, you fucking smash it and put it back in the box. And then tomorrow you pull it back out and try to solve an unsolvable puzzle all over again. You know, it really is. It just takes that time. I mean, think about anything that you've done. You've played football before, or hockey, or soccer, or basketball. You know, the first time that you picked up a ball, was it just, you know, fucking high 90 and you just blasted it in like your nickname was Cristiano? Or did you fucking kick it over the goal, like into the moon, like most people do? Even people that are trained, you see it a lot. It's it's just mind blowing how much people are reliant on, you know, someone else making the decision for them. Like those all black puzzles, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it happens to me too. Like there's plenty of times where I just sit out for a while. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. You know, lately I've been getting really lucky. But you know, there is plenty of times where I'm just like, I'm just gonna chill. I don't know what's happening. But you know, for me, I'm willing to put in the grind that it takes to improve at certain things. And honestly, with trading, it's really, you know, going through this journey really has unlocked a lot of other things in my life, because I realized that certain things that you need, like discipline in trading, you can't just have when you're trading. You need to have them all the time. And so, you know, not only have I improved as a trader over the years, I've improved as a person, and you know, had self-realizations about myself. And one of them was that I can do anything if I actually put in the work to do it. And I 100% believe that. Um, you know, I really, really do. And I mean, not that I was trying to prove it, but one of the things is, when I got hurt, I gained a lot of weight. Um, you know, and I would just done. I was feeling like shit all the time, tired all the time. Just, you know, I was about 35 pounds heavier than my, you know, normal body weight. And, you know, I just had fucking enough of that. I was like, you know what? I'm only gonna eat rice and that's it. And that's all I did for like 30 days. And then after 30 days, I started slowly introducing more foods back into my diet, and, you know, kept the exercising up, and, you know, lost, you know, almost all of the weight. But it was, you know, based off of that self-realization. Like, you know, if I can have this type of discipline while I'm trading, why can't I have this type of discipline when I'm eating? You know, why is it that every time someone has a starburst, and I'm not saying one starburst is gonna fucking kill you, but you know, every time someone has a starburst, I'm like, yo, let me get a couple. Why am I craving something like that? And why don't I have the discipline to just say, nah, I'm not eating sugar right now, or I'm not, you know, this is not my time right now to have candy. Larger moves don't typically fully round trip and make new highs without some sort of notable pullback. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, we've just got to be careful trying to just assume that that pullback's going to come today, right? Maybe if some volume comes in and we get some supply, but we haven't seen it yet, and so there's no, it's like, yeah, we got to be careful and expect it, right? Because you never know when it's going to happen, but we've also got to be patient today. Today's one of those days where you'd be better off waiting for confirmation than trying to force one or trying to time one. Rice only, Trin. Yeah, that's all I was eating was just rice. White rice. Like just in the steam pot or like an Instapot. I have an Instapot. All right, Bernal. We'll see you later, man. Have a good day. Thanks for hanging out. Not looking to fade this freight train. Yeah, me neither. H period opening up. More single prints. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, that just comes into timing, and sometimes your timing's correct, and sometimes your timing is just wrong. And more often than not, at least in my experience, trying to time something is um it's tough on a day like today. Apple's kind of looking heavy up top though. We'll have some space to pull back in though. Yeah, Trin, I was only eating white rice, and then I started eating bananas and green apples. I started to add those in, and then I started adding like meat back in and exercising. But I wasn't doing like any crazy exercising. I was just walking a lot for the most part and doing this climbing thing. Yeah, it's a lot of distribution. Like there's a lot of single prints they'll just leave behind. Bonds are still going up. Oil's still going up. Hello? Hey. Oh, I think it's like 25. Okay, well then do that. Okay. A lot of volume on that top tick here, guys. Nothing. I'm on my stream. Sounds good. Bye. Wish is up 14%. AMC, yeah, GME is up 10% today. I saw that. Their earnings yesterday were worse than expected. And they already were expecting bad earnings. And yet, they go up. GameStop, just go in there, pay those incredibly insane margins. So I guess what they say about veggies and eating them every day is not true. Well, I think that just depends on everyone's bodies individually. So like one of my buddies was um not a what's it called when you work out to look good and not to be strong. He was like like he did a competition. Like he did those competitions, you know, like where they fucking put that gold on their skin, whatever they are. But anyways, he had a continuous glucose monitor on, and he found out that when he was eating green beans, his insulin would spike, which is interesting because you wouldn't think something like green beans would spike your insulin. So it really just depends on everyone individually. But rice is one of the most easily digested foods, which is why they give it to people. They call it the brat diet. When people are feeling nauseous, they have people eat bread, or well, it's actually bananas, rice, apples, and toast. Some bread too, but they put it as toast because it's things that are easy for their body to break down. And so really, I don't think that, I don't think that it's not true about vegetables, even though one of my friends thinks vegetables are bad for you, Jared. Um, you know, it's just everybody is different. And so what I just did was basically like an elimination diet. And basically was trying to think of what is one thing that I could eat for every meal, and that's rice, because I love rice. Like I just take white rice and put a little bit of butter and then salt, like the Himalayan rock salt or whatever. I could eat that shit all day. Oh, we're at the standard deviation of the VWAP. A physique model, that's what it's called. Yeah. Thank you, James. But yeah, like so uh you it it really will just depend on um your own body. So like whatever your body does or responds to. Oh, we're probably about to go up here, guys. It looks like shorts are covering right here. Oh, maybe they can hold it. If they fly 5675. 57. Oh yeah, 56. Because it has 5750. That's probably that next move up, 5750, if it goes. Yeah, no problem, Trent. Yeah, I mean, it's really just you've got to just understand how your body works. Like, I mean, there's certain things that will work for everybody, but like, these professional athletes that we see that are, peak performance, peak physical condition, um, they've got a team of people just fucking like, running tests on them to make sure that they're running at peak performance. A lot of times athletes are like, unfortunately they're like cars, right? Nice cars, and they've got a team of people just making sure they run nice. And the athlete itself is just the driver. Prior day high is 65. Oh yeah, yeah. But I think this 5750, which is Friday's high, will be the first step you might see some selling start at. But yeah, that's probably where, because that's right above the excess, this A excess here. So probably a 5775 to like 65, 67 area. 10 point range up here of resistance. You still got these, three fairly large offers sitting above at the 50, 51.75, and 53 quarter. First consecutive back-to-back 15-minute closes below the zero. I'd be impressed too, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? Like, I would be impressed, but I just wouldn't be. Nothing surprises me in the market anymore. It's like, oh, look it, they did it. Look at that. There's the first sign of life for sellers. They were able to close the tiniest bit of single prints. Now let's see if they can get a cessation of one time framing and close some more singles. But it's gonna be tough today. Let's see the volume. Yeah, volume's just about even from yesterday. If we do break the G low, not much support until 36, which is the low of these singles. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if we had left some distributions like this, and maybe the breadth wasn't so strong, then I could definitely see like a flush back down to like the 14 or the 18, the 19, 20, 21 level. But I just don't. For me, I just don't fight stuff like that. Here we go. Come on, see if they can do it. Yeah, just another day of balance is what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like it just looks like more balance. 1, 2, 3, fourth day of balance. That's it. People selling up here at the high balance, applying the balance rules. It makes sense. It's just eventually, right? So when we are applying these balance rules, that's why the first step is always to monitor for continuation in balance and then the retrace, right? Because if we have people longing the low of balance, shorting the high of balance, long, short, long, short, long, right? Maybe they get short. Maybe they're shorting here. Eventually, one is going to just have enough, right? They're just going to be done with it. And then you get the breakout, right? And that's why when this happens and you are fading these highs and buying these lows, you've just got to remember that don't try to fight something like that, right? So like if we get up here and you're like, ooh, time to short, and you don't see any like retracement or any supply, any selling, don't just hold on hoping, okay, well, I'll just move my stop up to here because if it gets up to there, you know, that was that high, and then you start doing one of these, and that's what gets you. But yeah, I mean, I think just more balance so far today. Nothing amazing. A fairly easy day to trade. Just be patient and wait for it to come to our zone and then buy it. That was it. Can only knock on a door so many times. Yeah, just like Peter Reznicek says. He does. I like that. So we get a cessation of one time framing, just alerting us that the market may start to be a bit rotational. We do have all of these distributions below. And so, you know, those be looking to be as support. They don't really look as emotional to me as the single prints from yesterday did. These more look like weak-handed traders getting trapped short because they're not paying attention, and then boom, single prints because they get liquidated, and then boom, single prints again, they get liquidated, boom, single prints again, they get liquidated, right? And then finally they've met a level of price where buying is just not ready at the time to initiate, and they got this cessation of one time framing, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that we can't continue down. We do have a poor high, we have a weak low. This low down here is just 2 ticks difference, so definitely could be a weak reference. You know, so I mean, really, just there's just not much going on right now. The economic calendar. Gaps and single prints used to be easier plays from my perspective, but they've both gotten a lot more nuance over time. Yeah, because of the volatility. Because like the market has done like, you know, the market has likes to, like, you know, let's say like here's a gap or something like that. Likes to go like this. You know, likes to get down there, get all those stops, and then come back because of the volatility. And it's just been so easy for the market because of especially lately, because there's low liquidity. So, you know, if the market makers are not providing the supply, they're just like, well, guess we'll just skip right on over that. Oh, is that your stop? My bad. Well, see you tomorrow. You know, they don't give a fuck. Apple's starting to catch a bid. Yeah, so many partial fills followed by, yeah. Yeah, the tick is starting to get weak. That's true. The breath is still 4-1 for the most part on both. What was that number at? It was, you said, like 2,400 for the ADL? The breath? Yeah. So the breath is all of the stocks in the New York Stock Exchange and then all of the stocks on the NASDAQ, and how many going up, how many are going up versus how many are going down, basically. And so this, it's a 3-to-1 ratio to the upside, and then a 4-to-1 ratio to the upside on the NASDAQ. And then like, so like for the advanced decline line, the way that I look at this and the reason I have these 800 levels marked is I use these as basically levels where I'm not going to be looking to get long if the advanced decline line is down here, and I'm not going to be looking to get short if the advanced decline line is up here, because this is telling me that we have 1,237 stocks advancing, right? I'm not really trying to time 1,200 stocks to turn around and fucking come down a little bit. And then the Vold, I don't really use the Vold much, just above zero, below zero. Just tells you the volume up versus volume down. But like I said, the volume up, volume down is not really as important. I'm more looking at this. But I mean, it's just certain things, right? So like when you have your trading plan or your trading checklist, like right before you're about to get in a trade, things that I glance at are Apple. I like to see where Apple's doing. I look at the breadth. I look at the advanced decline. I look at the Vold, and then I look at the tick. Um, just, I mean, just a quick glance to see where they're at, what they're looking like, right? And we can kind of see, we haven't made a lower low yet in the tick, so the tick is still kind of holding here, making higher highs a little bit. Um, so that's not necessarily bad, because we're not getting any of these extreme 1,000 ticks that could sometimes signal some exhaustion, right? I wouldn't mind seeing one of those down here if we didn't break a new low, like let's say the market comes down near this H low and we start to see this tick start printing down negative 1,000. To me, that's telling me that this selling is weak and it's about to be over, and I can go ahead and just add to my long position. But I mean, it's just like a checklist that I have for things like that. For crypto, not really, because crypto's more like if you could trade, if crypto had like an S&P, right? Like if you had like the top, you know, top 10 crypto stocks that were in, or top 10 crypto coins that were in like one coin together, and you can just trade them all together. That would be more like it, but they're trading more like equities, right? And so there's no real breadth for equities. That would be more time and sales. And then even the time and sales for crypto is just worthless because there's just so many different exchanges, you can't really see anything, right? So like if we look over at a stock, right? Let's look at Apple, and we look at the level 2. You can see all these different exchanges that are coming through, right? You can't even get this on crypto, because at least on crypto, if it was like, here's Bybit, here's Binance, here's Finmex, here's fucking, whatever, like if they were all on there, you could see that, but you can't. And then time and sales, like I said, it's worthless on crypto because you can't see all the exchanges. This time in sales is for Apple, all of Apple, not just the Bybit version of Apple. So it's just like, that's why I really tend to only trade breakouts when I trade crypto. The one thing that I use for the breadth for crypto is this, just to see the coins that I track, how they're doing today, right? Versus all of the other coins. And so if all the coins are up, well, then I can say like, okay, then a buy trade is probably, if let's say I'm trading Bitcoin or something and all the coins are up, then I could say, okay, maybe it's a decent time to buy. If all the coins are down and I'm looking for a long trade, then I start to think, okay, well, what's going on here? Why am I trying to go against the trend? And same thing, if I'm trying to set up, like, let's say right now I'm trying to set up a short trade and I see the breadth is at, 3-1 on the NYSE, 4-1 on the NASDAQ. I start to think like, okay, is this a smart trade? Should I wait for confirmation? Do I have an opportunity to take a trade that has good risk reward? Things like that. All these things that kind of factor through your head the whole time. Pretty much like all day. And everything. That's what prevents me to going to the store sometimes. I'm like, it's not worth the reward. It's not worth my time. It doesn't take me time to go to the grocery store and have to deal with a bunch of dumb fucks and then ruin my day. I know who knows what will happen. All right, 2 more minutes, or actually a minute and 13 seconds. Get this next period, see if it's going to do anything. Remember that early cessation of one time framing typically means that we're possibly going to go rotational. We know that that's a decent possibility just because we're in balance. Mester said we need to get rates up to longer run neutral level as soon as practically possible. The White House is putting together a new team to lead economic messaging, de-emphasizing role of Secretary Yellen, evaluating Brian Dees NEC, and Gina Raimondo. Dees says to have been the wordsmith behind Biden's recent at Wall Street Journal opinion column on inflation more at Fox Business 130. Oh my god, that was a fucking mouthful. And waste. So basically, the White House hired some new spin doctors because the old spin doctors were not doing well. All right, here we go. Here's I period. Let's see. I period open is exactly the same as the H period open, basically giving us nothing. The fuck yelling. I don't have any feelings towards any of them, except for I think there's a way to solve the problem. It's just nobody will like it. We won't have any friends after, but it will solve the problem. All right, guys. Well, I'm about to go work out. The market's really just getting to that point where it's starting to do nothing. As far as the rest of the day goes, right? We've just got to monitor for this continuation. It really does look like they want that upside, and it looks like people are ready to give it up as long as buyers step up. So it looks like the deal's ready to be done. It's just a matter of meeting at the position. It's like the sellers are there, they're willing to sell, but they're only willing to sell up here at the 150s, and if buyers want higher prices, then they're going to have to move up and initiate those higher prices. So that's kind of what it looks like at today. A little weirdish auction, right? And it's kind of just stuck where between this 41.38 to 41.50, and really will just depend who's able to get in there. One time framing down. Yeah, G and HR. Poor high as well, though. And that poor high is really close. That's more what I'm focused on right here. But yeah, I'm gonna go get a workout in. Typically when I shut the stream off, we get the breakout we've been waiting for all day. So maybe we can just keep that up. Like I said, I think there's opportunity to get up to that 4,200 today. I know it's like a mile away, but just be careful getting short on this on a day like today. I have one of those feelings. Yep, lunchtime. All right, Pop, we'll see you later. See you, Trin. See you, Adam. Make sure that you guys are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. If you don't have a trade plan, make sure you make a trade plan. If you don't know how to make a trade plan, jump into the Discord and ask. And we will hook you up. But other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.